Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Wrestling with Books, where today I'm going to be doing a weekly reading wrap-up, or what I've read in the past week, or the past 5 to 6 books I've read. I don't know what we're going to call it, but last time when I did a wrap-up, I kind of did it while I was doing other things, and we're going to be doing that again today, because I'm chaotic, and I seem to just do better and feel better on the fly. So I'm not in front of the books, I'm in my kitchen, but I'm doing laundry. And I'll explain. I live in an apartment and we have a portable washing machine. It is a game changer for apartment living. I'm gonna start to do that while I tell you about the books I have read. And the first book I read since we last spoke was Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean. And this tells the story, it is kind of like Princess Diaries, and except it is about Izumi. She struggles where she lives. She feels she is too Japanese for the people in America, but not Japanese enough when she's dealing with people from Japan, and she has no idea where she fits in or where she belongs. She's raised by her mother and ends up finding out that she is the daughter of the emperor's son in Japan, like the crown prince, I think they call him. And so that's exciting, right? And she decides to go to Japan to meet him, and that's where she's dealing with more of these insecurities. She's too American for them, but she's not American enough at home, and all the things. Some things come up during this. She does have a love interest with somebody on the staff. I know, steamy, right? And my favorite part of this book is that they do kind of have, you can feel the misconnection between her parents, which is like sad, you know, but because of his circumstances and the free spirit the mother is, you understand it. That's not really a spoiler because it's very clear very quickly that they have this connection. But what happens is what you have to read for. So this was a good book. The first half was sort of slow for me, and that's when I was starting to panic, like, am I growing out of YA? I'm not ready to grow out of YA. But I don't think that's the case. I think sometimes I'm just really into thrillers, especially now that I've gotten more into them. So that's where I left off with that book. I think I would read the other books of it that were to come out after it. That's where I'm leaving that. So that's a pretty good review, right? This is where you're gonna start hearing the laundry. So maybe this is like a reckless idea. But you know, I just love how the kitchen is just makes it so easy to have like a built-in tripod with all the cabinets. Oh, cut off. All right, so the next book I read after that was an audiobook, and this was Three Sisters by Heather Morris. I received this audiobook on NetGalley, and wow, this was just such a game changer for me in being able to consume World War II stories, because it would be great to just be ignorant to it all and pretend it didn't happen, but it did. So Heather Morris has written the true story of these three sisters as told to her by the youngest sister, Libby. Though that's not, it's not like it's written out, you know, like, you know, in the beginning of the Titanic where they're talking to Rose. It's not like that, where in the beginning you don't know this when you read it. It's at the end that you really learn this. And we learn the story of Libby, Sibby, and Magda, and they each have different circumstances. In the beginning, you find out, you know, where they each are. They believe Libby will be young enough not to have to be sent to work for the Germans, as it's put, and Sibby had been out, and Magda just went for a checkup in the hospital, and the doctor says, I want to, you know, commit her to the hospital, because then this way she won't be taken. So that's like the way it starts. That's like the scene being set. And from there, you just get an incredible story of family, of endurance, of hope, of horror, everything. And what's really great about this is that you get the story of before what happens, and it becomes so hard because you know what's about to happen. You get the story as it's happening, and then even better is you get the story after, which is just so great and actually really insightful, because sometimes it's easier to think, well, it's over, what's wrong now, but there still were a lot of problems and still a lot going on. I really enjoyed this in audiobook format. The narrator was incredible. The book itself was incredible. They consider this part of the Tattooist of Auschwitz series. I have not read that book, but I definitely want to look into it now because it was a wow book and a story that will stay with you, and I'm glad that I now know it. Next book I finished was another audiobook from NetGalley. I think I'm gonna be able to finish this whole wrap up right here. We've got a spot, we're gonna stick with it, the laundry's going, let's do this. So it was The Introverse Guide to Speed Dating by Emma Hart, and this is actually the second book in the series. I haven't read the first, but that did not hinder the enjoyment. This is one of those books where they kind of showcase a different couple in the universe, in their world each time. So you're getting that couple story, and it's okay if you didn't get the one before it. It's noisy, isn't it? No, the door is shut. The door is shut. This is just what I live with. This is just the noise level. On a main road, it happens, apartment buildings, you know. So anyway, cute book. It's short and sweet, just like speed dating. You know, you have London, who is a single mom, and her cousin keeps encouraging her to go on these speed dates, and she has a community of friends that works around this athletic camp and like a athletic program, and her son goes to soccer there. Cue the really cute soccer coach from London. He gets bullied into the speed dating too, but even outside of the speed dating, you could already feel there was chemistry between these two. Maybe that was kind of a fault in this book for me. The chemistry was really clear from the start, and they tried to create a conflict by saying, they had Ali say, that's his name, the coach, in the beginning, that she was a mother of a student, so it couldn't work, but at the same time he's pursuing her, so the conflict just didn't really jive or work for me. But if you like a, you know, short and sweet romance with no steam, then I would recommend this. That's what that was for me, and I have a full review of it on my Goodreads if you're into, you know, book reviewing, because that's what I'm getting into now. Hello, hi, booktube reviews. I know, I'm still adjusting. The next book I read was Mother May I by Jocelyn Jackson. It's, each time I want to say Joshua Jackson, you know, Pacey. He's still Pacey from Dawson's Creek to me. I don't know who he is to you. That's who he is to me. But this is by Jocelyn Jackson, not to be confused. And this is a thriller, a domestic thriller, if you will. It's about a woman named Bree. She lives what one would assume, you know, has always been a privileged life. She married into a wealthy family. She has 2 beautiful girls and now a baby boy. And her husband is a very big attorney at a very big group and agency. And she feels she is seeing this woman who looks like a witch to her, but she thinks she must have just like hallucinated it. And then she thinks she sees her again later at school for the kids that day, and then her son is missing, and there's a note. And this witch has taken her son hostage. In exchange, she wants Bree to do something. So how far will a mother go? Are they going to be able to catch this woman when your baby's held hostage, so you don't want to fool around with that? There is so much, and through this journey, it's really told through Bree and her friend Marshall, who is a cop, and then one of the lawyers who isn't part of her husband's agency but not her husband. So there's a lot of great characters in here. This was a quick read, maybe 2 sittings, because it's just fast-paced and keeps you interested. I would recommend this to anybody who likes domestic thrillers, but there are some trigger warnings in it, so I would read about it if there's certain topics that you don't like. I don't really want to get into it here, so I'll just let you know to look it up. I have it included actually in my Goodreads review. In this book, I could have been holding it up the whole time, damn it. I finally had the chance to hold up a book and I didn't do it. But I had won it as an ARC. I won an ARC copy from Goodreads. I actually win Goodreads giveaways quite a bit. But so if anybody would like to read this for themselves, let me know. And the first person to say, hey, send that to me, I will send it to you. Because I don't have a lot of shelf space, so I like to, you know, pass it along. So let me know if this sounds like something you would like. And then after that is the last book I finished in these past, what? Let's say 13th of October, past 13 days. All right, we have, this was another one from NetGalley, and this is so up my alley. This is like the type of book I love to read. It's Anvils, Mallets, and Dynamite, the unauthorized biography of Looney Tunes. And this is by Jamie Weinman, and he is a Looney Tunes purist. I mean, this guy, you could tell he's just passionate about it and loves it. And that's the type of person you want to be writing these books, because you learn from it, from somebody who really respects whatever it is, you know, they're talking about. And this man has respect for the animators, for the series, for the characters, everything. You can tell, because like towards the end you're like, wow, this guy hates Space Jam. But I loved it. I loved learning about this animation studio at Warner Brothers and the evolution of the characters, what the characters meant in pop culture at the time. Looney Tunes starting as short cartoons that would play before movies during the war and during that period, and then how they evolved to syndication, the difference between the pre-1948 shorts and the post, and there's just so much in it. It left me really wanting to watch the Looney Tunes, and I found it interesting because to me it read like a documentary or a podcast documentary, just telling you all about the evolution of Looney Tunes. So if you're a nerd like me, I think you would find it super fun. That's a wrap on what I read this week, guys, or in the past 2 weeks rather. I cut off my head. I don't know what exactly happened. There we go. So thanks for tuning in and being here, and for supporting this new booktube channel. I love talking about books here. I will mention it again on my Instagram, on Wrestling with Disney. That's where I post my other YouTube channel content and some book content too. And I am on Goodreads if you want to be friends there. I will link it below. Thanks for being here and help me, you know, pass the time as I do my laundry. What's better than that? And you know what? I got a portable dryer too. So if I had more books, I could have kept chatting. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.